Let's go through the code 2516. Take care of each character from left and right. So we are giving a string S consists of character ABC and a non-negative integer k. Each minute, we can take either the leftmost character of S or rightmost character of S. So return the minimal number of minutes needed for you to take at least a kilo of each character. Return -1 if it's not possible. So this one we have a string S, right? So that means that we want to take a two part. One is the left part, one is the right part, right? So that means that we want the minimal length of the left plus the right, right? So we need to have condition the left and the right. The C count A should greater equal to K, right? And count B should greater equal to K. Count C equals greater to K, right? We know to calculate the two segment is hard. So can we convert this question? We know the total length is N, right? We want to find a longest window, which have, for example, we already have total count A, right? Total count A minus K, right? We in a total count B minus K and total count C minus K. We want to have the longest window which have this kind of count A smaller equal to, right? Smaller equal to this. B smaller equal to this. So if we have this kind of conversion, it will be a sliding window problem, right? So um, I think and if we do this kind of conversion, this question will be kind of straightforward, easy to write code. So let's write code for this. We have a char array equals S2 char array. Right? So let's have this count equals new. We use an array so that, of course, we can also use a count A, count B, count C, right? Um, and we can have um, we can count every A or B or C, right? And at least they should be great. All of that should be greater equal to K, right? And we can also, the thing is that because we want those kind of window to be at most the total count minus K, right? So we can initially set this as minus K, right? So that means our count A should be smaller than um, this count value, right? So we can set this one as minus K. So doing like this, arrays their count minus K. Then for have C in array, how count C minus A plus, right? So that question convert the longest um, window which have satisfies C count A smaller than count 0 smaller equal to, right? And then CB and, right, smaller equal to count 0 1, right? And C count C smaller equal to count 2, right? The longest window satisfy the three conditions. So let's say if this kind of count 0 smaller than 0 or count 1 smaller than 0 or count 2 smaller than 0, right? So that means um, one of the character doesn't have a count k, right? That means we cannot find such result. We just return -1, right? Then we want to find the longest window, which has count A smaller than count 0, right? And count B smaller equal to, right? Smaller equal to count 1 and count C smaller equal to count 2, right? So we are right int n equals array of length and left. And the longest in the end, what we return is n minus this kind of longest window, right? Let's have left equal to 0, right equals to 0, right? For these two pointer, right smaller than a, right plus plus, right? So we'll have count. When we move the right window, we'll have updated the counts array. Right minus a should increase by 1, right? We can write a while loop, but for this question, we find the longest, and if we find a condition, right, we are not a shrink because we can use the fixed size to move to the right. So we can use the if, right, count 0 smaller than 0, or count 1 smaller than 0, or count 2 smaller than 0. We just move left. Yeah. When we move left, of course, we need to update the count, right? So we should longest, let's say that is at most this count, right? So for right, we should use decrease, right? And when we move out, that means we have more to use. So that will be increase, right? So now we are finding the longest. So what we return? So the longest, right, will be right minus left. So what will return is a minus right minus left, right? So we can see this count is that we can use, right, for the window. And when we move the right means um, um, because for this window, we can at most have these counts, right? Moving in, right? So that means the at most counts will decrease, and move out, this will increase. The time complexity will be O, and the space will be constant. Let's write Python code for this as well. So Python code will be, let's have count equals minus k multiplied by 3, right? So what we do is that for C in S, what we do is that count RD C minus RD A J increased by 1, right? So we'll say if count 0 smaller than 0, or count 1 smaller than 0, or count 2 smaller than 0, right? That means for any uh, any case, there is one character will not have at least k counts, right? We just return -1. So we have n equals length S, and we can have a left equals right equals 0, right? Um, the Python code use a for loop that is has a different behavior with some other language like Java, right? So because the things that if we use a for loop, right, to in the end, for example, for write in range n, right? In the end, what write stop is at n minus one, but in Java it was stay at n, right? So this is a different behavior for Python. So if you want to the same, right? You can use while write is smaller than n, for example, while write smaller than n, right? And the write plus equal to one, right? In this case, the write will stop at n, right? So this if we write a for, in the end, the longest is not right minus left, which will be right minus left plus one, right? So I have count RDS, RDS, right, um, minus RD, should say possible to run, right? So I say if we count 0 smaller than 0 or count 1 smaller than 0, right? Or count 2 smaller than 0. Then we should move left pointer, right? And when move left pointer, we should have count for the s left minus for the a. This is minus. It means we are used out, right? So this will be increased by one. And in the end, right, for Python, what we return is a minus right minus left plus one, right?